Tom Cruise just unleashed the kind of bombshell that could ruin marriages, kill careers, and turn every red carpet smile upside down, and Hollywood has finally burst. Tom has finally cracked the code and disclosed the true nature of the relationship between Keith Urban, Nicole Kidman, and himself after years of silence. To put it mildly, it's not the romance that the media portrayed. A dot. What if I told you that the happy marriage interviews and Oscar smiles conceal a twisted truth that caused Keith to lose everything he had worked so hard to achieve? Because this isn't gossip, fasten your seatbelt. Hollywood retaliation with receipts is what this is. Hollywood, they thought, had seen it all. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's seemingly innocuous red carpet reunion has descended into a full-fledged emotional earthquake that nobody could have predicted. In spite of the forced smiles and flashing cameras, there was a reality so explosive that even Keith Urban was unable to contain it. According to insiders, Tom Cruise just revealed something Nicole hoped would never come to light again, and now the man who once sang about love and devotion is drowning in shame. Shall we turn the tape back? When Tom and Nicole were Hollywood's golden couple in the early 2000s, their split was promoted as cordial. However, there have always been rumors to the contrary from those with knowledge of the matter. For years, there were rumors of covert letters, late-night calls, and secret recordings. And now it appears that those rumors may have been accurate all along, due to a leaked audio clip that inexplicably surfaced on Reddit. The disturbing thing isn't even that. The film purportedly taken in 2004 shows Tom telling a close friend, "She kept a part of me in her heart, even when she said she'd moved on." Tom's most recent exclusive interview, which struck like a social media bomb, is what's shaking Hollywood. Tom reportedly made hints that Nicole wasn't really faithful in her marriage to Keith Urban, and that she had emotional baggage from her relationship with him that never really ended during a casual sit-down with an entertainment personality. Within hours, the hashtags Thatcher Justice for Keith and Nicole Exposed became popular on what was formerly Twitter. According to a source close to Keith, he suspected something was wrong for months, even as fans swamped comment sections with incredulous, angry, and hypocritical notions that might make a soap opera blush. She seemed to be leading two lives by avoiding inquiries about Tom and the private phone conversations. The internet doesn't need evidence to go crazy, but it's still up for debate whether that's true or simply another rumor. Over the past year, influencers have been analyzing every interview. Paparazzi shot and fleeting glance between Keith and Nicole. Even video of Keith's hand twitching during an awards show was slowed down in one viral TikTok when Tom's name was brought up. It's being referred to as the guilt grab. Seize Tom Cruise, who has been accused of everything from maintaining secret files on co-stars to operating frigid film sets, appears to be the most aloof person in the room. He acted excessively calm and methodical during the interview. He wasn't upset. Like a man who has waited decades to clear his name, he was deliberate. And at last he had his chance. Furthermore, Tom and Nicole's relationship was not your typical Hollywood romance. Together, they built homes, adopted children, and garnered media attention as the 90s ideal marriage. Therefore, it's not just drama. It's legacy warfare for him to suddenly come forward and suggest that emotional cheating may have been the beginning of Nicole and Keith's marriage. A dot. According to reports, Keith Urban had sequestered himself at a secluded ranch outside of Nashville by the time this news appeared on morning television. He was still wearing his wedding band and appeared disheveled in paparazzi pictures, and refusing to answer questions regarding Tom's interview from reporters. Fans began to speculate that Keith's previous concert cancellations were due to betrayal rather than tiredness, as his representatives claimed. Then the unimaginable occurred. Under the handle Truth About Nicole, a new Instagram account appeared, sharing cryptic sayings such as, "You can't erase what's recorded," and "Some secrets deserve to burn within hours." Supporters believed the story was written by Tom or a member of his personal entourage. Blurry screenshots of what appeared to be previous text communications between Nicole and an anonymous number, kept as a mission control coincidence, were posted in the blogs. Perhaps. However, the internet rejects the idea of coincidence. A dot. The tabloids were claiming that Keith Urban was in crisis at the end of the day. Marriage is destroyed by Tom's truth. And like forensic investigators, entertainment programs started looking into the couple's past. According to unnamed studio sources, Nicole once requested that a big production team remove Keith's name from a red carpet section out of concern that it would rekindle old Tom rumors. Perhaps too precisely. The puzzle pieces began to fit together. Fans of Keith are devastated. Those that support Nicole are defensive. The truth always finds a way to be smuggled by Tom's troops. In the midst of it all are three individuals who are bound by ego, fame, and a secret that will not be kept hidden. Here's the question, though. Was Tom's retaliation truly this? Or is it simply a man finally speaking up after years of silence? Whatever it is, there's no denying that the game has altered. The next twist in this Hollywood collapse is deeper than anyone could have imagined, so if you thought this was the end, you're wrong. We're just getting started. Overnight, the internet essentially caught fire. Every moment of Tom's interview, every gesture, every word was dissected by millions of fans, gossip websites, and YouTube commentators. People believed that there was more. He wasn't claiming that the secret he revealed was only the beginning of something much more sinister. All of a sudden, this was more than simply old heartbreak or jealousy. It was about control, treachery, and the false sense of perfection Hollywood gives its viewers. Insiders who worked closely with the couple during their early marriages allegedly provided exclusive leaks to a number of entertainment publications. Nicole used to talk about Tom all the time, even after marrying Keith. It wasn't romantic, but it was obsessive. She'd compare their energies, their drive. Keith used to shrug it off, but it gradually shattered him, according to a podcast featuring a purported former aide. A further purported insider went even farther, asserting that Tom maintained a private record of voicemails, messages, and pictures exchanged with Nicole. And it's possible that the identical files have now come to light again as a result of this developing scandal. Screenshots of what appeared to be a hazy voicemail transcription started making the rounds on the internet. The message supposedly featured Nicole's voice saying, "I wish things had been different, Tom. I wish I could tell Keith everything." While no one could verify its authenticity, the damage was done. The clip went viral within hours. Fans dissected the tone, the pauses, and the inflection. People even brought in so-called voice analysts on TikTok who claimed it was a 90% match to Nicole Kidman's speaking pattern. Meanwhile, Keith Urban's silence became deafening. For a man who used to post daily updates about his shows, family, and his beautiful wife, there was suddenly nothing. No pictures, no captions, no smiles. Reports claimed he had fired his PR team after they advised him to ignore the noise. And insiders alleged that he had confronted Nicole in private about the voicemail. The confrontation, according to one close friend, was brutal. He asked her point blank if she still loved Tom. She couldn't answer. She froze. That's when Keith knew. From that moment on, things spiraled. Keith's team allegedly canceled a $2.3 million endorsement deal, citing personal matters. A major network pulled back from a scheduled TV appearance. Paparazzi captured Nicole stepping out of her home looking visibly shaken, clutching her phone and avoiding questions shouted by photographers. Did Tom tell the truth? Are you still in touch with him? Is Keith leaving you? Her lips stayed sealed, but her silence spoke volumes. Volumes. Then came the twist no one saw coming. TMZ-style blogs began hinting at an even darker chapter, that Tom Cruise wasn't just revealing the truth. He might have been provoked. A now viral tweet claimed that Nicole had secretly contacted one of Tom's old producers last year, trying to fix her image in an upcoming documentary about their past. According to alleged insiders, Tom found out and decided to take back the narrative before anyone else could. If that's true, then this entire scandal might have been Tom's strategic counterattack. But as usual, social media didn't wait for confirmation. Memes' fan theories and even fake court documents started circulating. One Twitter thread claimed Nicole had sent hush money to an anonymous recipient last month. Another TikTok influencer said Keith was seen meeting with divorce lawyers in Nashville. Whether any of this is true is anyone's guess, but when it comes to celebrity chaos, perception becomes reality. Hollywood publicists are reportedly panicking behind the scenes. Studio executives are allegedly trying to distance themselves from all three stars, fearing that this scandal could ruin upcoming projects. Nicole's next film premiere was suddenly postponed indefinitely, and Keith's concert organizers claim logistical issues for canceling his entire Australia leg. But industry insiders aren't buying it. They say it's damage control. They say the story is too hot to touch. And then came the bombshell photo, a paparazzi snapshot that broke the internet. Tom Cruise leaving a Beverly Hills restaurant late at night holding what looked like an envelope. The caption read, "Proof delivered," within hours. Speculation erupted that Tom had passed the alleged voicemail or documents to a media outlet. The entertainment show started teasing. We've heard the audio, and it changes everything. Suddenly, the entire world wanted to know what was in that envelope. Nicole's camp reportedly tried to shut the story down, sending legal threats to blogs and fan pages that reposted the rumors. But the harder they tried to silence it, the more viral it became. Hashtags like Tar Nicole voicemail and Tom knows everything began trending globally. Fans started revisiting old award show clips. Moments when Tom and Nicole avoided eye contact or when Keith looked distant. Every blink, every smirk, every awkward pause was now evidence. But the internet doesn't just analyze. It judges. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Some accused Tom of manipulation and revenge. Others said Nicole got caught in her own web of lies. And poor Keith, he became the face of heartbreak, with fans posting emotional edits set to sad country songs. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. Keith didn't lose his wife. He lost his peace. Peace. Behind the glitz and glamour, it's becoming clear this isn't just a Hollywood love triangle. This is a war of image, power, and truth. And if Tom Cruise really has more to reveal, the next chapter could destroy more than just reputations. It could change how the world sees its so-called perfect couples. But little did anyone know, the real twist was just about to begin. By the third day, this wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a full-blown Hollywood crisis. News outlets that once worshipped Nicole Kidman were now turning against her. Headlines screaming, Nicole's hidden affair files, Tom's proof surfaces, and Keith Urban vanishes amid marriage collapse. What had begun as a whispered scandal was now dominating primetime news segments. Publicists were scrambling, lawyers were on standby, and Hollywood's elites were privately texting each other. Did you see what Tom said? Then came the supposed exclusive drop. A small but infamous gossip channel claimed it had received the actual voicemail that Tom hinted about. The same one Keith allegedly confronted Nicole over. The clip was only 17 seconds long, muffled and emotional, but unmistakably haunting. The voice on the recording said, "You'll always be the one I couldn't let go. I couldn't break Keith, so I didn't tell him." That was it. No context, no names. The internet, however, didn't require verification. Minutes later, the sound was everywhere. TikTok analysis, YouTube clips, and Twitter threads. 95% of fans who slowed it down, turned it up, and used speech filters insisted it was Nicole Kidman's voice. The entire Hollywood machine collapsed. It was referred to as digitally edited nonsense by Nicole's team. Tom's side remained silent, and Keith fell silent once more. The loudest headline of all was that hush. Theories began to spread more quickly than wildfire. According to others, the message was recorded years prior to Nicole and Keith's marriage. Others said that it was new evidence of long-term emotional infidelity. Some conspiracy sites even speculated that Tom had set her up by utilizing artificial intelligence to create the fake recording as retaliation for years of being seen as the bad guy throughout their divorce. However, the harm was irreparable, regardless of the truth. Overnight, Nicole's reputation as the serene, elegant Hollywood star was destroyed. She was surrounded by paparazzi at every turn. Her face was obscured by dark glasses as cameras captured her outside a Beverly Hills law firm, Keith's black SUV parked a short distance away. According to TMZ, the two had a private meeting for almost 4 hours. They appeared tense, according to witnesses. Nicole paced Keith while he lit a cigarette after smoking, while he stared at the floor and his fingers trembled. When they eventually came out, neither of them spoke to the media, but one witness even said they heard Nicole say, "It was never supposed to come out like this." Keith drove away by himself. A brief, ambiguous statement was published by Nicole's publicist. As her family deals with private issues, Nicole Kidman requests seclusion. However, privacy and Hollywood are not compatible. Keith Urban unfollowed Nicole on Instagram within a day. Fans saw right away. Screenshots became widely shared. Every post, lyric, and caption he had written about her over the previous 12 months was examined by YouTubers. He had known the conclusion for months. In hindsight, the agony was evident. Keith didn't lose his wife this week, according to a TikTok that went viral. A long time ago, he lost her. Tom Cruise, meanwhile, was having the time of his life. At a movie premiere, reporters saw him giggling, trembling, and posing for pictures as if he had never seen the chaos he had let loose. It was dubbed the retribution smile by fans. Posts about Mem's calling began to appear. Tom, the king of comebacks. Without revealing any behind-the-scenes information, entertainment bloggers ran headlines like, "Tom finally gets his apology." Butte rumors of a court battle started to spread. According to reports, Nicole's attorneys were getting ready to file a defamation lawsuit, alleging that Tom's remarks in the voicemail leak caused her mental and monetary distress. Can she ever regain her reputation, though, even if she prevails in the lawsuit? Hollywood is seldom forgiving, particularly when the story of a covert affair becomes this public. The next shocking revelation was an anonymous Reddit post purporting to be from someone involved in the making of Tom's next film. According to the piece, Tom's public relations team had been preparing a strategic image reset for months, which included subtly changing his public character from haughty action star to truth-telling incorrect ex-husband. This wasn't spontaneous, if that's the case. It was planned. Every chuckle, clue, and quotation from that interview might have been a component of a larger scheme. The internet was unable to determine which was worse: the notion that Tom orchestrated Nicole's demise or that she had cheated. In any case, Keith Urban emerged the most damaged. He checked into a private wellness center in Montana, according to sources. Fans weren't buying into his team's brief statement that he was concentrating on his family and recuperating. He appeared defeated, they observed, like a guy whose entire world had been torn apart in front of millions of people. The morning posts became the meme's focus. Keith started to be viewed as the sad protagonist of a contemporary romance gone awry. A popular tweet stated, "First it was Will and Jada, now it's Keith and Nicole." Hollywood doesn't do love. It does headlines. And in the middle of all this, Tom Cruise remains untouchable. The man who flipped the narrative, turned sympathy into strategy, and made an entire generation question who the real victim ever was. Industry insiders now whispered that Nicole's next film may be quietly shelved, that her endorsements are on pause, and that her team is desperately seeking a distraction, a humanitarian project. A magazine cover, anything to make people forget the voicemail. But as one PR expert bluntly told Vanity Buzz, "You can't erase audio. People will never forget your confession once they hear it." Hollywood may move on, but the internet never forgets. And so the love triangle that once defined a generation of romantic movies has now become the darkest soap opera ever written, one that no screenwriter could have imagined. But every fan is obsessed with watching it unfold because at the end of the day, when Tom Cruise said he had nothing left to hide, he wasn't bluffing. He was warning them. And now, as Keith Urban disappears from the spotlight and Nicole Kidman's empire begins to crumble, one question echoes louder than ever across the internet. Was Tom the villain all along, or the only one brave enough to tell the truth? And that's the twisted truth Hollywood doesn't want you to see. The love triangle that began as red carpet perfection has exploded into betrayal, revenge, and shattered reputations. And trust me, this story is far from over. Because if Tom Cruise has more proof and Keith Urban decides to finally speak, Hollywood won't be ready for what comes next. So what do you think? Was Tom really exposing the truth or just settling an old score? Did Nicole play innocent for too long, or is she the real victim in this chaos? Drop your thoughts below. I'm reading everything. This is Legend, where gossips are the secrets that don't stay secret for long. Stay tuned, stay curious. And remember, in Hollywood, every smile hides a scandal.